we are dwelling on this whole subject of being loved and treasured. You're a man, you're a woman, you're a child of God. Just discover that. And tonight, because we are talking much about women in our lives, let's look at some of them in the Bible keenly and some of the significant stories we can learn and lessons as well. Now, the Bible clearly sets the record straight concerning women and their value. Remember very well, just like Adam, Eve was created in the image of God. Through Eve, all women who come after her, God shows them that His purpose cannot be fulfilled without equal participation of both men and women. There is a role a man plays. There is a role a woman plays. Now, from great military heroes to prophets to strong believers in Jesus and his ministry, women in the Bible have clearly demonstrated strength, character, as well as wisdom, inspiring other women, both then and now, to follow their footsteps. Now, look at what I shared in the previous hour concerning Deborah. We know Deborah as one of those judges who was a woman judge amongst the children of Israel, and she played a very, very unique role. She served as Israel's only female judge in a male-dominated culture. And after receiving instruction from God, what did she do? Deborah acted without hesitation, enlisting the help of Barak, who refused to go into battle unless she accompanied him. And the Israelites defeated their army led by General Sisera, who ironically was killed by another woman, Jael, with wisdom and faith. Deborah continued to lead Israel through 40 years of peace. Now, we cannot go on without mentioning Esther. Remember Hadassah, Esther? Yes, in the book of Esther, we witness the faith and bravery of a beautiful young Jewish woman who was to become a Persian queen. The story could have stopped there, but Esther could have chosen to live in the lap of luxury. Instead, when the Jewish people were threatened with annihilation, she willingly put the lives of others ahead of her own. She actually turned the tables on the enemy of her people, and her principles and courage allowed God to use her to save his chosen people, enabling the lineage that would produce our Savior to continue. Need I mention women in the New Testament? And one of them that stands out is Mary Magdalene. You remember her? Jesus' most prominent female disciple, demonstrated great courage and faith. Not only did she follow Jesus when he posed a threat to a vicious and evil king as he ministered in Herod's territory, but she also remained with Jesus throughout his crucifixion when all other disciples, except the Apostle John, had fled. Even after his death, her devotion to Jesus persisted all the more, and she continued to visit the tomb to anoint his body, at which point she became the first person to which he appeared after his resurrection. Remember that story, and soon we'll be celebrating Easter. We'll be reminded of that. Now, Mary, mother of Jesus, demonstrated obedience, faith, by her willingness to surrender. She actually surrendered to the will of God, despite the prospect of great shame to herself and her family. We read that, especially during the Christmas time, and Mary exhibited immense faith. Yes, at a very young age, in her willingness to become the mother of our Savior, Jesus. And this distinct honor brought abundant joy and great sorrow. And through it all, she persevered as a devoted servant who honored God by saying yes. And there are many other women we can read about, we can share about. But I want to tell you this: you are loved and treasured. Looking at all these women and many other, if you take time to read their stories in the Bible, you realize that they were used of God very, very powerfully. And these women faithfully served God and bore men who shaped Jewish and Christian history. Whenever we read the Bible, we remember about them. Hannah in the Bible, in the Old Testament, how she prayed to God and God gave her Samuel, who later became the priest there. Became a prophet, and many things that he did. And through their stories, these women that we have read about, we learn that God keeps his promises. No matter how long it will take, it shall surely come to pass because God has said it. And God answers prayer. Could be a no, could be a wait, could be a yes, but God still answers prayer. And his timing is always perfect. you allow yourself, you say, be it unto me according to your word, his timing is always perfect, and God can change hopeless situations. You are a brother, you are a sister, you are a father, you are a mother, you are a child, son or a daughter. Just know this, that you are loved and treasured by God. He loves you just the way you are. Are you willing to be used of him to bring glory to his holy name? This is a time for you to reflect on that and allow him to use you at such a time as this.